Perfect. Perfect. Perfect.
The Philadelphia Eagles fall to the Washington no-name, no-identity football team by a final score of 27-17 in week 1. The Eagles dropped to 0-1 on the season. And in a game where we thought the Eagles would come out and we thought this would be a nice, old, pretty beginning to what will be an amazing, remarkable, ecstatic season. The Eagles come out and once again, welcome back to Eagles football. They absolutely embarrassed themselves on a game that was a tale of two different halves, two different football teams. And we blow it to the Washington football team. We go up 17-0. Talk about history rewriting itself. Last season, we were down 17-0. And you remember who came back? It was the Philadelphia Eagles. And today we go up first quarter. I'm looking, this is a Super Bowl offense. Goddard, Ertz, Rieger, Jackson, Carson Wentz can't miss. He starts like 11 for 14 from the game. 120 yards, a quick drive down the field, a touchdown to Zach Ertz, a touchdown to Dallas Goedert. And we give up 27 unanswered points to the Dwayne Haskins-led Reds, the Washington football team. Not even the Redskins, the football team. I have never been so embarrassed. Why? Why couldn't it just be an easy going game? We had the game. We had the game. We were going to go into halftime in a shutout. But I told you, what did I tell you on the game preview? We'll get into all the keys of the game. When you give a team life, a young, hungry team who will play for their coach, when you give a team a division rival life, when you give them some energy, they will take it and run with it. Carson Wentz, after an amazing first half, or amazing, I'd say first 25 minutes of the game, he throws that interception late in the second. Doug gets pass happy. Someone's got to put him in his place. We don't have Frank Reich anymore. We have 54 offensive assistants and Doug Pederson, and Doug got so pass happy. We didn't run the ball. We ran the ball 9 times for like 20 yards in the first half, and we got pass happy. We gave them the momentum. We made some terrible decisions, and then we give up 27 unanswered. We don't score in the second half of this game. And we now go down to 0-1. We get embarrassed by the Washington football team, and I've never been so damn sick. Well, welcome to my first Eagles post-game show, man. Eagles post-game live, RB. I forgot to say RB. Philly take with RB. And if you're an Eagles fan, how can you not be embarrassed right now? I am sick. I was wrong. We'll talk about everything else. The injuries on this team, unbelievable. I want to throw up. We had Jordan Mailata in this game in the clutch moments. Jordan Mailata. I could play better football than Jordan Mailata. Carson Wentz takes a career-high 8 sacks. Chase Young in his first NFL game, just eating us up like some nice pancakes and waffles at IHOP. I mean, Ryan Kerrigan isn't even starting on the Washington D-line, and he was all over us. How can you not be embarrassed right now? There's so much to talk about, but I'm just sick right now. I'm just absolutely sick. How can you let that happen if you're the Philadelphia Eagles? It is sickening. What is Doug Pederson going to go in the locker room and tell his guys? That we gave up, that we lost, we gave up hope, and we got taken aback by the Washington football team. I can't even be mad at the defense entirely in this game. You know why? Because every damn possession started on short field, on short yardage. It's like within the 50, every single play, every single time. Carson Wentz, by the way, had an atrocious second half of this game. Carson Wentz in the first half, I'm tweeting out, I'm having a parade, I'm celebrating. Carson Wentz is back to 2017 form Carson Wentz. No, he's not. The Washington football team, a guy with a brain like Ron Rivera adjusted, and the Eagles did nothing but feed right into it. It's unacceptable for this team to lose games like that. We go into the game without Miles Sanders. We get the notice before the game that Lane Johnson is out. But it just kept piling on. The amount of injuries, Brandon Graham, Jack Driscoll, Vinny Curry, so many guys off the top of my head just dropping like flies. Just dropping like flies. Our offense was in such a rhythm. Dallas Goedert. First, Carson Wentz finds Zach Ertz over the middle for a touchdown. Then he finds Dallas Goedert on a post route. And I'm like, holy crap, this offense has some flow without Miles Sanders. But no. Doug starts to feel his Andy Reid. And he just gets so damn pass happy. The Eagles threw the ball 42 times in this game and ran it like what, 18, 19? That's unacceptable. The Eagles started this game and got Washington to go 3 and out, 2 out of the first 3 drives. And on the other one, they only got 1 first down. We had it. We were locking down Terry McLaurin. We were locking down Washington. Dwayne Haskins started this game like 3 for 9, I think, with like 21 yards. And it's absolutely ridiculous that this happens. It's absolutely ridiculous. And this is week 1. This is week 1. And how many guys did we lose today? Carson Wentz finding his reads, getting comfortable. Our offensive line was actually good for the first 2 drives. And then Washington sends pressure, and Carson Wentz. Here's my biggest issue with Carson Wentz. It's not that he missed some throws downfield. It's not that Carson Wentz, who obviously, look, we expected this to be a sloppy game, right? Because there was no preseason. There was no time to get in that connection with your receivers. And we have young guys. We have Rieger and Hightower. I get it, all right? But some of the effort I saw in those throws. And here's my thing with Carson Wentz. You cannot hold on to the ball so long. Carson Wentz needs to go back and watch some film. You need to go out and watch some film. There is no reason with the pass rush of Washington that you should be holding the ball so long and encountering so many sacks. It just does not work. You don't have the time, Carson. It was a problem last year, and I see it's carrying over. Get rid of the ball, Carson Wentz. Not only are you taking 10-yard sacks, not only is Carson Wentz taking a 10-yard sack that knocks us out of field goal range, where Jake Elliott comes up this short after Carson Wentz takes a 10-yard sack, but Carson Wentz is likely to get himself injured by bending over and getting hit in the back. Like, come on, man. Jason Kelsey almost missed this game, had to take 2 different tests because he had the sniffles. The Eagles defense came out. Malik Jackson, how about him stepping up? He was a bright spot, right? Brandon Graham was playing well early. Darius Slay, these corners, Avonte Maddox, Nickel Roby-Coleman were on it. And the defense was playing just fine. But as soon as you gave them that chance in the second quarter, we struggled on some drives. We gave it right back to Washington. They get that pick. They go down and score 7. And in the second half, the Eagles just come out launching. Come on, we need a balanced offense. You got to get something down running the ball. And then just some of the bonehead calls, screens on 2nd and 20. Like, it can't happen, man. The first drive, Carson Wentz, it had a 6-play drive for 62 yards, 2 and Ertz, touchdown. He was 4 for 5 and 52 yards and a touchdown on the first drive. We proceeded to go up 17-0. Jalen Reagor, how about Jalen Reagor, who got what, 1 catch today? That was it. He almost connected from Carson Wentz on a deep one, which I was mad now, because he should have hit that one. But again, Carson Wentz is throwing the ball 40 yards, 3 plays in a row. It doesn't make sense. By the way, Jalen Reagor, his first NFL catch, the one that went for 55 yards, he toasted Ronald Darby. All right? And I thought everything was going great. Everything was coming together and connecting. But Carson Wentz deserves a lot of blame in this game for not getting rid of the ball, not seeing the field well in the second half. Doug Pederson deserves a whole hell of a lot of blame. How do you not prepare your team to come out, and when the other team adjusts, you don't readjust. You just feed right into it. Carson Wentz was rolling out early. I saw him. He had a 3rd and 8 to Greg Ward. He had a couple. D-Jax, where was he? What is going on? What is going on with Deshaun Jackson? Is he hurt? Does he not? Is he too old? What is going on? Why was he not continually in this game? We must have answers. Oh, he's not hurt. He's not this. Well, what is he then? What is he? John Hightower did not play well, but again, he's a 4th-round draft pick who didn't get any time to get anything down with his quarterback. I can't be mad. I can't be mad at John Hightower. Yeah, he played terrible. There were some plays, that one interception, I believe it was the second one. John Hightower didn't go after the ball as well as he should have, but again, he's a 4th-round draft pick. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside didn't even see the ball in this game. And I got one bone to pick with somebody else, Zach Ertz, late in this game. First off, let me say Doug Pederson, when he went forward on that 4th and 4 around the 45-yard line of Washington, as we're down 3 points, I believe, it's so stupid. You don't do that. You punt the ball. Your defense is at least playing adequately. You don't do that when your offense has no momentum. And then on a 4th and 3, after a 3rd and 3, by the way, where we throw like a 25-yard post route, I think, to Deshaun Jackson, and it was over his head. What do we do on 4th and 3? We throw it over the middle, which is the right play. And Zach Ertz drops it. He drops it. How do you want a contract extension? We heard how Zach Ertz had a dispute with Howie Roseman and it got heated. Well, how are you going to drop a 4th and 3 that we absolutely need and you want your contract? You should be ashamed of yourself. What's going on, everybody? RB here, Philly Take with RB. Philadelphia Eagles lose to the Washington football team. Post-game live stream, week 1. Shout out to all 130 up in the chat. Hit that like button for me. Hit that subscribe if you're new, and hit that notification bell. Turn on all the noties, man. We're going to be here every single week, but I don't know what else to say after this. We can go through it. We can break it down, my keys to the game. But overall, the Washington football team just heated up. That energy just got more and more as the time went on, and it almost seemed like the Eagles didn't give up, but they just had nothing left. And that pass rush, Chase Young was amazing in the second half. Ryan Kerrigan, they were all over Carson Wentz. No time to throw, but when he did, he was missing throws. He was throwing behind people. He threw some in the dirt, and Doug Pederson did nothing to help him out. I would be absolutely ashamed if I was a Philadelphia Eagle right now. Unbelievable. Let's get to some of these comments, and then we'll continue to talk about this game. What are your guys' instant reactions? What is the one thing that stands out about this game? Please tell me. Please tell me. Because this is crazy, man. This is absolutely crazy, bro. 120 up in the chat. What are your instant thoughts and reactions to this game? Who are you putting the blame on in terms of the Philadelphia Eagles? I think it's a culmination of Carson Wentz's second half play, Doug Pederson, the injuries, and overall just the momentum of this game was absolutely terrible. And I'm not taking anything away from Washington because, they showed me that they're going to play hungry. They're going to play young. But when you have them out of the game, what did I say for one of my pregame keys? Put your foot on the gas pedal early and stomp them in the neck. Don't give them a chance to come back in. But the Eagles absolutely did that with a few minutes left in the second quarter, and they absolutely took the chance. They took it and ran with it, man. Sickening. Sickening. The entire Sixers 2019-2020 season was more entertaining than this one game. It's crazy. I've never seen a team look this different from the first half to the second half. I'm absolutely ashamed, bro. Carson Wentz in the first half was 14 for 21 with 182 yards and 2 touchdowns and that late pick. And then he proceeded to throw 6 incompletes in a row. Man. And I thought this team was clicking like the 2017 team. The defensive line, the amount of depth with how well we were playing. I don't know if I should be more mad at how we finished this game or the fact that nobody can seem to stay on the field. Unbelievable. What up, RB? I have good news and bad news. Bad news, easily the Eagles lose to the football team. Good news, reach 50 subs. Shout out to you, man. Appreciate the grind. Shout out to my channel members up in the house, man. We got BLSG. We got Max, the Brett Brown hater. We got Rick Bennett. Shout out to the channel members. The link is in the description if you want to check out the memberships. I'm so pissed off. And you guys, the channel members, for the vlogs, man, I recorded some crazy content during this game. I am big pissed off, man. I'm pissed. What's going on, bro? Wentz can't throw the ball. He had less than 1.8 seconds to throw before he was sacked. He's still a top 10 quarterback. I will agree with that. That Carson Wentz was getting bum rushed from every single angle. But my thing is when he did have time to throw, you got to throw it away, bro. In the big moments, you can't when we need a 3, you can't take a sack like that. You can't take a sack like that. Brevin says, "Hey dude, you're lagging big time." Hey, am I lagging? Let me know in the chat. Type a 1 in the chat if you guys can hear me thoroughly. Type a 2 if I'm lagging. We lost to a team that won 3 games last year. And like I said, like I've been saying this offseason, man, like the Washington team is good, but they're still years out. They're not ready. We should not be losing, giving up 27 unanswered to this team. It should not happen. It should not happen. We should be ashamed. Wait till we get Fuller back. Number 1 defense coming soon. Stop it. Stop it. The Eagles didn't run the ball. If we continue to run the ball, we would have won this game. But no, pass happy Philadelphia Eagles. Boston Scott had 9 carries for 35 yards, and Corey Clement had 6 for 19 yards. That's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Greg Ward was utilized in the slot early on, and they stopped going to him. Again, D-Jax was 2 for 46. I don't know what the heck is going on with D-Jax. Goddard had 100 yards. Dallas Goedert, our second string tight end, is a beast. But that him and Zach Ertz, Zach Ertz, 3 catches for 18 yards. It's crazy, bro. It's absolutely crazy. I expected this game to be sloppy. And even if we played hard and everything went well and Washington just played a good game, it is what it is. But the fact that we lose 20, we fall and drop 27 unanswered, it's unbelievable, bro. Injuries. That is one of the stories of today. At one point in this game in the fourth quarter, I'm watching Jack Driscoll go away. Jordan Mailata, I think it was Matt Pryor, Nate Herbig, Jason Kelsey, and Jason Peters. I mean, are you kidding me, man? One guy who I continually thought about through this game is Frank Reich, and I miss Frank Reich from years ago. I'm telling you, Doug gets out of his own element sometimes, and it's absolutely ridiculous. No Mike Groh anymore. I said Doug Pederson would be more aggressive this year, which he is, but I also said the power would kind of be in his hands, and it's on him to make the right calls and to stay with what works. Allow the run to open up the pass, and that did not happen. I mean, Carson Wentz starts this game. Almost all the Eagles' weapons are being utilized left and right. And we just stopped going to certain guys. Why, man? Avonte Maddox had a couple nice plays. Slay had a couple nice plays. I'm not really mad with the defense that much because, again, they were put in terrible situations off of turnovers. But the Eagles just did not have enough gas in the second half, man. Carson Wentz, like I said, had 182 yards at halftime, and Haskins had 77. And Carson Wentz finishes this game with just 270, and Haskins 178. 8 sacks on Carson Wentz. You think he's going to sustain himself if our offensive linemen keep dropping like this? Josh Sweat had a nice play in the second half. There was one of the bright spots. He'll be a nice depth piece, but holy crap, bro. Like I said, Wentz was 0 for 6 to start the second half with 2 picks, or one of the picks came at the end of the first half after starting 14 for 17. It's sad, bro. Continually taking sacks, guys getting injured, no gas left in the tank, and some bonehead decisions. Washington tied it up with 14 minutes to go, and they end up taking the lead with, I think, 5 or 6 minutes to go, something like that. The Eagles let 40 seconds run off the clock, don't take a timeout. And the nail was put when Zach Ertz drops that 4th and 3rd. If the 4th and 3, it just can't happen, Zach Ertz. The nail in the coffin came when the one guy who we can always count on to make a big catch, who has the sure hands, drops one over the middle. I'm so embarrassed by this, bro. The Washington football team defeat the Eagles in week 1. I said the 3 keys to this game were to protect Carson Wentz, to get on an early lead and put our foot on their necks and not allow them to come back in, and to put pressure on Dwayne Haskins. Number 3 happened a little bit. The first 2 did not. Carson Wentz was eaten up all day, and the Eagles did go up on that big lead and allowed Washington to get right back in their groove. And we had it, man, and we let them right back in. Someone got to get Doug Pederson. They're not the Chiefs. Crazy, man. I mean, I saw so much Andy Reid today, and it's ridiculous, man. And it's not like the Eagles don't have talent. It's not like we can be a good team, because we can. But it's just some of the decisions don't make sense, man. If you're just tuning in, hit that like button. We got 160 up in the chat. Hit that like button for me. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and hit that notification bell. Give me your guys' thoughts on this, man, because I'm just absolutely disgusted. My Eagles fans, like, where are we, man? I mean, this is terrible. I can't go through another season of devouring injuries. This was week 1. We usually don't even see it yet. What happened to that new medical staff? That new medical staff. Nobody's getting hurt, right? Why am I sweating over a week 1 game? It's crazy, bro. I'm literally sweating. And it's funny, like I said, how history repeats itself. We go down 17-0 last year in the opener, and this year we go up 17-0 and we blow it. We lost to the no names. We lost to a team with no football name. No fans, no name, but apparently they got some heart against this team. And I'm going to keep it real at all times. I know some people are going to be mad about this because I'm coming out and blasting this team. No, they need to be blasted. Doug Pederson should go in the locker room and say, I apologize because I didn't do my job in the second half. Carson Wentz should put it on himself for the second half. How can you look that good in the first quarter, in the first half? This was an electric offense in the first half. It looked so easy. Yeah, he had more time to throw, but it was so easy. It's not that hard of a decision to throw Zach Ertz and Dallas Goedert over the middle. We saw on the first drive of the game, they can't contain both of them. When you got Rieger and Djax on the outside, you can't stop those guys. And then you got those two over the middle. They just can't stop it. But too many times we're trying to throw the ball 30 yards downfield when it's 3rd and 5 and you just need 5 to get a first down, man. I see a lot of Redskins fans up in here. It says HTTR. You can't even say that no more. It's hail to the no names. Connor Murphy, what did I just witness as a Chiefs fan? What a nightmare of a game. I'm blown away. I don't understand the team's system to scoring the ball. The O-line needs to step up. I'm just disgusted, bro. Eagles had 19 first downs. Washington finished the game with 18 first downs. At one point in this game, the Eagles had like 11 or 12 first downs, and the Washington football team had like 2. 5 for 14 on 3rd down for the Eagles. It's just not going to cut it, man. It's just not going to cut it. 208 passing yards and 57 rushing yards. One thing that was actually good about this game was no penalties. I thought we would see a lot. You know, we always see those false starts from Jason Peters. We always see things, and especially without having time to prepare, without playing preseason games, I thought it would be sloppy. Washington started out very sloppy, and the Eagles actually didn't. Remember when I said we need to do the little things well? We were doing the little things well. I can't believe this, man. The season is not over by any means. I mean, this is week 1. This is one game. But you know how I said the Eagles always seem to lose those games, a few a year, 1 or 2, where you don't expect it? This was one game I would have never expected us to lose. Now we go down 0-1 in the division as well. That could have further implications. It's just terrible, man. The Washington D-line is that good, but with how we were approaching them in the first quarter, allowing Carson Wentz to get his reads, allowing him to scramble out, allowing him to find his guys, and then as it's like as Washington started to apply more pressure and get to Wentz, we were inclined to throw the ball deeper down the field, but there's not time to do it, man. When the Redskins are in a huddle, they say, "Go football team, go." Washington football team looks like a playoff contender. Philly fan, by the way, they look like a contender today. They're not a playoff team. They are years out from being a playoff team. But the Eagles don't fail to make teams look better than they are. $150 people up in the chat. Please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell. We'll be on here live every single week. We're at 57 likes. Hit the like button if you guys are just joining in, man. Give me your questions. Give me your thoughts. Who was one player for the Eagles that you expected to step up today that had no impact? For me, it's J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. The dude didn't even get a target. What are we doing? How does he not get a target? I saw him on the field plenty of times. Nothing. You got to allow the run to open up the pass. The first drive, we saw a balance, but it just looked so easy. We were in a flow. With a couple minutes left in the first half, this looked like a game the Eagles were going to win 38-3. And as soon as you give that team life and they run with it, you're just in trouble, man. Could it be that they had too many injuries? That's a part of it. I'm not excluding that. The Eagles' injury problem is ridiculous at this point. It's absolutely ridiculous, bro. It's absolutely ridiculous. How many guys had to go down for it to be enough? It just doesn't stop. Last season, we were left with 2 of our starters by like week 13. This season, we're already down how many? I knew when Lane Johnson, who got ruled out before the game, didn't play, I knew the Eagles were going to have trouble. But the way they came out of this game showed me that they could at least hold their ground. But there's just no readjustments. Jim Schwartz, I was talking, and at one point in this game, I'm saying to myself, we need to send a blitz. We need to get on Haskins because even though we were getting good pressure in the first, Malik Jackson, Brandon Graham, that we still were not able to account for any sacks. We were blowing up the run game. That guy Gibson, Antonio Gibson, he was a wide receiver in college. He was not doing anything on the Eagles. We had him right where we wanted to. We needed to send more pressure. And I said, we need to send a blitz. And as soon as Jim Schwartz sends a blitz, you know what happens? Josh Sweat gets a strip sack. Luckily, they recovered it, but they ended up punting it away. And it's crazy, man. I thought we would go to Jalen Reagor on some dig routes in the flat over the middle, but no, it's like he was just a deep threat only. We got to get a better understanding of this offense. John Hightower, like I said, was not impressive at all. And crazy. You should have stuck to quick passes. Yeah, it was working. Momentum drives. Take your time, work the ball down the field. It was working. It was working. And we go away from what's working. Just some bonehead decisions, man. Currently watching America's Game of the Week between Saints and Bucks. They're on my fantasy team. Hey, let me know how it goes, man. I hope it's better than this game I just watched. I mean, this is sickening, bro. This is sickening. We had more total yards, more first downs, better time of possession, even though we were leading by, I think, 6-7 minutes after the first half, and it's almost even at the end of the game. We allowed them to completely run the tempo of the game. And it's crazy, bro. What do you have to say about 8 sacks? What I have to say is that the Eagles' O-line is banged up as it is. They continue to sustain injuries. And when you have Jordan Mailata out there in a fourth quarter, it's just not going to be good. The dude got absolutely torched in camp. But when you do get the chance to make plays, you got to make them. You got to throw the ball away, Carson. Damn it. Makes sense because we had no preseason. Thank our O-line for the win, not Wentz. $160 up in the chat. Hit the like button if you guys are just in here. Even if you're fans from Washington, look, I try to keep it as real as possible. All right, I try to tell it how it is. The Eagles should be embarrassed right now. They should be embarrassed. I got to give Washington credit for coming back and winning this game and staying hungry and not putting themselves out of it. But at the same time, the Eagles handed it right to them. I'm just saying, man. I don't want to say I'm over the season, but I'm not even excited for next week. Look, we know the Eagles are probably going to come out and win next week and convince all of us that we're okay and we're 1-1. But all I'm saying is, on a tough season like this, the Eagles have a tough schedule, right? You can't drop these kind of games. You do this too many times, and at the end of the season, when you lose by one game or blah, 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 or half a game, you look back at games like this, like, damn, we had that one. We should have took advantage of it. Long season ahead. Should have known Wentz late pick in most fantasy drafts on a bench. Predictor of where you are. Philly Girl says, I'm not in the mood today. Eagles haters, not today, for real. Yeah, a bunch of these trolls up in the chat. I'm sure there are probably some Washington fans who can at least talk objectively. And maybe they'll get to know me because, again, I try to keep it real no matter what. But there's a lot of trolls up in here, so I'm not even paying them any mind. I'm just giving my thoughts on a game. And again, I respect them for coming back and playing as hard as they did. But again, the Eagles kind of handed it right to them. So this game was Doug and Wentz's fault. Absolutely. Those two are the biggest contributors in my eyes. You cannot play like that in the first half and then completely shift in the second half and allow them to control the game. Wentz, the GM, the coach, and the medical training staff needs to go. How about that medical staff? How about that medical staff that we thought was oh so new? My guy Philly Mike literally said that might be the biggest acquisition of the offseason. And there we go. Wow. And it's funny, these football team fans, the football team, they think they're going to make the playoffs. They think everything's sweet. They're not. They're not. But they can enjoy this one. I'll give them that. We got almost 200 people in the chat. If you guys could hit that like button for me, subscribe to the channel if you're new, ding that notification bell. We're at 70 likes. Let's get it up to 100, baby. Man. I'm going to try to get to all these comments, or at least most of them that aren't trolls. But yeah, we'll be up in here, man. I gave my take on the game. Let me know what you guys are thinking, because it's just hard to drop a game like this. John Hightower, he sucked. He was terrible. But again, he's a 4th round pick, his first NFL action. Can't be terribly mad at him. I can't be terribly mad. I saw one play where Djax, was it the play where the ball was almost picked by Washington? The guy dropped it. And Djax just stuck a hand out barely. It's like, you can't do those kind of things. This team gave me Sixers flashbacks. I thought the pain was over. Crazy, bro. Oh, man. They're insanely injury prone. We might be the most injury prone team in the league. We are, and we have been for about 3 years now. And we always use the next man up mentality, but at some point you just don't have enough left. And this is only week 1. So we got to get these guys healthy and back on the field. I can't take this, man. Wow. 27 unanswered. It's crazy, man. That can't happen. That can't happen to this team. Shouldn't happen to any team, but some teams are more likely with how their offense are. You can't give up 27 unanswered to Dwayne Haskins. Can't happen. Y'all lost to a team with no name, not a good look. Not at all, man. HT Peyton Barber. Man. Man, oh man. Need Nelson. It's hard to blitz a team that runs that type of offense with motion. The flats are wide open. I feel you. I'm just saying, the first time that I saw us actually send a blitz, we sent an extra man, one with the 5-2, and we got a strip sack. I'm not saying it should be all the time, but I liked how our defense was. I thought our corners were very good early in this game. I thought we were aggressive. But again, they were put in bad situations. I can't be terribly pissed off at the defense. I can't. You're crazy. If Haskins was accurate, you lose by 20. That's a joke. If Carson Wentz was accurate and threw the ball away, we win by 20. Come on, man. Like, I see the Washington fans up in here. Most of them I can see are already delusional. I don't know why you guys just can't be honest. Just have normal conversations, man. But it's funny. It's all love, man. At the end of the day, I keep it real all the time. So, Saints up 14-7, second quarter with 10 minutes left. Thank you for the update, Philly girl. Thank you. You had so many players healthy. What is the excuse now? What are you talking about? Honestly, what are you talking about? So many players healthy. We watching the same game here? And I'm not making any excuses. I've completely called my team out. I mean, that's just a terrible comment. My Lotta for football, my Lotta for fullback would be the best thing for him. The best thing for my Lotta would be to return to rugby. He's just not an NFL player, man. Philly girl says, Josh, we had starters injured at least 3. Exactly. Like, what? And like 5 to 7 went down during the game. Come on now. Keep it real. We're the better team. See, people like this are, I mean, you guys sound like Cowboys fans right now. It's crazy. They know the Eagles are the better team. But Ron Rivera coached better down the stretch. He did. Washington was the hungrier dogs. They definitely were. They definitely were in the second half, and I'll give it to them. They played hard. As soon as they got a little bit of life momentum, they ran with it. They did. Sheesh, ton of trolls up in this chat. Our D-line is insane. You guys have an amazing defensive line, and I knew it was going to give us trouble, which is why I said I did not want Lane Johnson to be out. If you follow me on Twitter at RB Philly Take, as I tweet throughout the game, I literally said yesterday, if Lane Johnson is out, this team's going to be in a nightmare. And then as more guys continue to go down, Driscoll was having actually a pretty good debut as a rookie. And then when he goes down, it's just like, what do you expect Jordan Mailata to do? You know what I mean? What do you expect? Honestly, it needs to be a full game, not just a half. I absolutely agree. I absolutely agree. You can't play one half of football. You go up 17-0, you can't give this team that chance. This is like when the Eagles lost to the Panthers or Titans. Exactly. There's always that one game where we blow and we should not. Always that one game. And again, this is my first reaction, so maybe I'm missing some things. Let me know if you guys see anything that I'm missing. But the Eagles just were a completely different team in the first and second half. It's attributed to Carson Wentz and not being smart with the ball. Couple fumbles, bad throws, not throwing it away. And Doug Pederson just seemed to completely lose his identity in the second half. I still don't agree for him going on that 4th and 4 from the 45, honestly. Hey, man, Washington fan, just found your account. You played a good first half, but honestly, I think we were the better team today. Similar situation as week 1 from last year. Our D-line is scary. Great points, and thank you for actually being a Washington fan who can actually talk. You know what I mean? Respect to you. Appreciate you. Subscribe if you like the content. Since you guys won the game, I do have to say you guys were the better team today. Your D-line is scary, and you're right. It's crazy how history repeats itself and completely flips. The first and the second half were completely different. And by the way that you guys played in the second half and the fact that the Eagles didn't put you out, well, you guys deserved it. One thing I noticed, once you get under Carson's skin, it's easy. I noticed he was upset. His face was red. Absolutely. I think he kind of like threw his helmet in frustration a little bit. They kind of show like a glimpse of it. Man, it's just like, I agree. Once you got to Carson Wentz, it was just like a snowball effect. Like it just kept piling on. Crazy. Del Rio coached that defense to kill, but y'all played to the very end, but we got the best of y'all. Best of luck. Respect to you. Best of luck. Philly Girl says medical staff pisses me off the most. It's absolutely ridiculous. Like, it's like we're expecting guys to go down now, and that's sad. That's not how football should be run. Should not be like that. Shout out to all 180 in the chat. If you guys could hit this like button, I would appreciate it. We're almost at 100 likes. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. Give me your guys' thoughts. I summed this game up as best as possible. The Eagles are going to be working from behind now. We got to bounce back next week against the Rams. But for a team that we thought that could start out 3-0, 4-0, this definitely hurts, especially within a division game. And I've been one to say that Washington is being slept on and that they're going to be a good team in the future. But you got to win this game if you're the Philadelphia Eagles. And it's not even that we lost. It's the fashion that we lost. There's like too many games like this. Too much heartbreak. Too much just... There's just too much anxiety. And it's like every single game. Nothing can ever be easy, man. Washington has had the most guys on IR the last 3 seasons. Welcome to our world. I would actually try to negotiate that. I'm not sure because with the Eagles, even though we end up using the next man up mentality, even though we make the playoffs, we've had a ton of injuries. We had 2 starters left last season. And look how many guys are already down. Philly Girl says, this is the final warning for the trolls. Yeah, Philly Girl. Shout out to my mods all up in the chat. If they're trolling, don't be afraid to get them up on out of here. If they're just giving their opinion, they can stay. There's actually some cool Washington fans in here who I'm trying to get to. But some of them are they're just like any other like Cowboys fans and stuff. But I appreciate the real ones. I'm keeping it real. I'm gonna call my team out when they're playing trash. I was looking at the game saying Eagles got this, ended up losing to Washington. It's crazy. Thomas Mitchell says, give the Skins defense credit. Again, I don't know how many times I have to say this. I've been giving Washington credit. They played hard and they took advantage when the Eagles let them stay in a game. They took advantage and their defense was – I didn't expect anything less from their D-line. But I'm just saying, the Eagles came out and it took was a few adjustments. Chase Young, Montrez Sweat had a sack. Jonathan Allen, they were just all over us. Wentz barely had time to throw the ball, but you got to make your opportunities count. They lost to the Washington Football Club. The Washington, I mean, these people are fans of the football team. I laugh every time I look at the words football team. It's crazy, man. Redskins lost the same way last year when the Eagles came back. Exactly. It repeated history, just flipped. Absolutely flipped. Crazy. Shout out to all 200 up in the chat. If you guys could hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. I'm devastated by this, as I should be. And I'll be fine. You know, tomorrow we'll have another video kind of after I have a day to digest things because, of course, we're in the heat. We're heated right now. We're in the emotion because it just happened. But it just can't happen like that, man. Yo, what's up, RB? Didn't get to catch the game, but at least you're not a Giants fan. I got to go through this every week. Man, oh, man. Shout out to you. Eagles' schedule is too tough to be having these letdowns so early. I absolutely agree, and that's a point I made earlier on. With how tough this schedule is, you got to take advantage of the teams, of the games that you should win. And you just can't let one down like this. You know what I mean? I give Washington credit. I give them credit. But if you're the Eagles and you had a 17-0 lead, the real Washington fans in this chat will tell you straight up. They had us all but dead in the water. They know we did. The real ones will admit it. But the Eagles gave it right back to them and gave them a chance. And that's, like I said, when you're playing a division rival, when you're playing a young and hungry team, sometimes that's all you need. And they ran with it. So I give them credit. I give them credit. Your O-line is so horrible. It's terrible when we just keep seeing guys go down. And, I mean, I'm hoping Brandon Brooks can even get back by the end of the season. It's just sad. Redskins will play teams with an O-line. Yep. Shout out to my channel members, by the way. If you guys want to go check out channel memberships, the link is in the description. Get a bunch of cool content. You get a bunch of behind-the-scenes content. I was going nuts during this game. Shout out to the channel members. Chase Young had a very good game, but did give up some flags. Yeah, the Washington football team came out very sloppy, which I thought the Eagles were going to do. But it just so happens that, man, gave them a chance. What are your thoughts on a Washington defense? You think they're a real deal? I know you had injuries, but give us some credit. You think you're going to weak game 2? I think we can easily bounce back. I think the Eagles will. They usually do bounce back after devastating losses like this. But I give Washington credit. And I already said, if you are Washington fans and you go and look at my game preview prediction, I said the Washington D-line is fierce. They're going to be probably within the top 5 this season. I already said these things. You don't got to tell me these things. I already knew it. I'm just saying, the way the Eagles came out, they were playing good football in the first quarter, and things completely flipped. And Doug Pederson, being a Super Bowl tenured head coach, should understand now, in his 5th season, how to negate things like that, or at least how to cope with them during a game. You got to adjust better, man. The D-line just tore your offense apart. They absolutely did. They absolutely did. Part of it was injuries, and part of it was just their talent. I saw it started to go to some zone later on. That one blown coverage, I forget who it was. Was it Jalen Mills and Roddy McLeod in the end zone? That was absolutely terrible. That was absolutely terrible. Man. Nate Hendricks says, love your reaction videos. Appreciate that. Appreciate that a lot. Appreciate the support. Let's get this up to 100 likes. We need 10 more likes up in the chat. Hit that like button, man. See you in week 17. I respect you, but good game, though, especially in the first half. Good game, though. Respect to you. Thank you for being actually a chill person and being able to talk normal. A lot of trolls up in this chat. RB, you're still lagging. Am I? You're lagging like crazy. Am I lagging? Am I lagging? This team is starting out 0-4. How do we not see it with all the injuries? We're not starting out 0-4, okay? Come on. We're not starting out 0-4. This will bounce back next week. We'll be fine. But this will be a game that we remember later on in the season. Like I'm saying, man, just a game where we're going to wish that we won this game. Our defense brought that game back. They absolutely did. Carson put the team on his back the last 4 games last year. Don't forget that we have a lot of New wide receivers, that will work itself out. I'm more afraid of injuries and simple calling by Doug. I agree. Look, at the end of the day, I am still a Carson Wentz guy. Carson Wentz is my guy, and I support him, but it's just at the point we're at, we now have the weapons to work with. Obviously, you need the O-line. But going forward in the season, if we stay healthy, Carson Wentz must prove a lot. And the way he played in the first half was miraculous. But you just can't see that shift like that. But I agree. The injuries is probably my biggest worry. I know Doug will figure it out. He usually has these little trances where he kind of gets out of his element. Once we get Miles Sanders back, we'll be okay. A lot of people forget we didn't have Miles Sanders today. All right, he can completely change the outlook of a game. But what I do know is this team needs to stay healthy, and Doug needs to lead. Would love it if all 4 NFC East teams are contenders. I think we could at least see 3. We go 0-2. Maybe it's time to reboot. Interesting take. Don't sleep on Ryan Kerrigan. Seriously came out of nowhere and took it to Carson today. Surprised nobody on the Eagles O-line could protect him. How many sacks did Kerrigan have? Let me see. Yeah, Kerrigan had 2 sacks, and we've been saying it. We've been saying that Kerrigan, it's crazy that he's not even on the starting unit. Like, that's how deep that Washington football team is. Now, I also think the Eagles have a deep defensive line, but again, Barnett was out, Hargrave was out, Graham was shaken up, Vinny Curry, another one that got banged up. We have a lot of talent, but we got to stay on the field. Again, we got almost 200 up in this chat. Let's get it up to 100 likes. We need a couple more. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you're new. Hit the notification bell. Check out the channel memberships. We're going to be live every single week, and I'm going to stick to a structured schedule. But we'll be live after every Eagles game, and I'm always going to break it down. So, will Sanders return next week? I'm hoping today was just a precaution. I do think if Miles Sanders was in this game, it would have been a lot different. Because, again, I feel like Doug Pederson was just scared to go to the backs, and he just got away from it. As a Washington fan, nothing but respect for you and your team. Hopefully, y'all can stay healthy. Respect to you. Respect to you. Appreciate that. Not looking good right now, but hey, we got to stay healthy. We can't have these issues early on. Maybe if we want to get them out of the way, but I don't know. It just doesn't feel that good. 8 sacks, 2 interceptions, and 3 fumbles. It can't happen. It simply can't happen. Simply can't happen. They finally have a coach that makes halftime adjustments. The talent is there for that team. I think they have talent, but I still think they're a year or 2 away. But they played well today, down the stretch. I'm gonna give them credit where it's due, man. Not going to be that person to always come up here and say everything's all right when it's not. We should be embarrassed today. Will we be fine going in the future? Yes, the Eagles will be fine. But as of right now, that just can't happen. It's just a sour way to start your season. It's a sour way to start your season. The 2 standout Eagles I picked were Carson Wentz and Darius Slay. Again, Carson Wentz, we know, had a great first half, and it kind of all fizzled to nothing. Darius Slay, I think, in his Eagles debut, played pretty well. Overall, the defense, McLeod stepped up. Mills had a nice hit on Dwayne Haskins. Our linebacker core, that was one of my biggest questions. I thought Gary and Duke Riley played actually pretty well today. They weren't too big of an issue to me. They weren't too big of an issue. The wide receivers did what they had to. Now, I don't think we kind of stuck with who we were trying to target for the most part. Greg Ward was a guy I would have liked to see him get some more touches. But the O-line, it was troublesome. And the injuries were just bad. I picked the Eagles 23-16 in this game. They fall 27-17. We'll be up on here for about 10 to 15 more minutes. Now that I've given my takes and everything, I just want to hear your guys' takes, your questions, whatever. We got almost 250 up in the chat. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I'll try to get to as many comments as I can. And at least the real people up in here that can actually have a conversation. So give me your questions. Give me your takes. Whoever you're a fan of, whatever. I'm going to keep it real at all times. But the Eagles can't feel that good right now at the current time. Shout out to Philly Girl, always holding it down in the chat. I'm not a Philly fan, but you need a new system. The coaching was not good today. Defensive coordinators figure it out after a while. Yeah, I agree. And in terms of the offense, like, we knew we have all these assistants, right? Rich Scangarello, Marty Morningweg, all these guys stacking up. But the majority of the power falls with Doug. It's up to him. And he's got to make the right decisions, and he's got to keep the tempo going. Some of the plays just kind of confuse me sometimes, honestly. Carson needs to throw the ball away. I'm getting tired of that. Absolutely. There's too many times I'm seeing an 8-yard sack, a 10-yard sack. One of them, like I said, took us a few yards back, took us 10 yards back, actually, and Jake Elliott misses a field goal by a few yards. It just can't happen. And Wentz, I mean, he got away from a couple early, but it kind of got predictable. We knew what was going to happen. We knew what was going to happen. Man. Trolls, when was your last Super Bowl? Yeah, they don't remember that. They weren't alive. They weren't alive then. Eagles need to sign 2 offensive linemen tomorrow. This team get my heart attack. Who are they going to sign, though? Who do we go out and trade for? It's week 1. It's really funny to me how these Washington fans up in here are so confident, like they're going to win 13 games this year. I'd say their ceiling is like 6 or 7 this year. That's the max. Chase Young's a baller. Washington's front D line is nasty. They are. I'll give it to them. Next, we ride again. Go Eagles. Yeah, we got this. We'll bounce back. We'll be fine. Just can't give the momentum back and not do anything with it. You got to capitalize on opportunities. And Eagles just did not do it in the second half. You cannot go an entire – usually our worst half or our worst quarter is the first. I said I wanted to see us get out quickly, and we did. And then we don't score in the second half. Shout out to this guy right here. Says, we were dead. I will admit it as a real Washington fan. Thank you, Megan Clinton. Thank you. I appreciate and respect the fact that you can at least be honest. The Washington football team knows that they were out of this game. Which is why I say, as much as I will give credit to the Washington team, the defensive line for getting them back into it, for applying that pressure and just suffocating Carson Wentz. Well, at the same time, the Eagles also gave it right back into them, gave them the momentum. Respect to you for at least being able to admit that. Got to give Jack Del Rio credit as well as he made some good players or some good plays for Kerrigan to step up. Absolutely. I didn't think Del Rio was ever a good head coach like that, but I do think he's a good coordinator. He was definitely a good pickup. Only good thing that I saw that people should be hopeful about was Jalen Reagor. I wouldn't just limit it to that. I thought Malik Jackson actually played a very nice game. Thought Greg Ward had a decent game. I thought our corners didn't play bad. I didn't think Avonte Maddox or Darius Slay played bad. I thought they played well. Overall, our secondary, that's been one of our key our key points of emphasis, right? Our secondary, our tackling, our linebackers. I didn't think they played bad at all, really. But again, when you give 4 or 5 possessions of having to start in the short yardage, in the short field, I mean, it's kind of hard to not surrender. You know what I mean? Jalen Reagor is exciting, though. His downfield speed, I want them to use him and give him 6 to 8 touches at least a game. He doesn't just have to be a 50-yard bomb type of guy. He doesn't. RB is giving a lot of credit to the football team. You're asking too much about that. Exactly. I've given a plenty of credit. Eagles Nation for life. It is what it is. At the end of the day, you're right. Eagles Nation, we're always here. We're always representing, standing up. I'll be here. I'm always here to defend my team and to give my takes on it, no matter what. This is one bad game. We got to bounce back. But hopefully the biggest thing is that we take the lessons from this game and we understand you can't just put any team out. You know what I mean? Next time we have a 17-0 lead, maybe we'll remember that. Maybe we'll understand and we'll feel that and we won't let up. That's really what I can take away from this in terms of a lesson. We do have a lot of young guys. We have a lot of dudes who stepped in and made their debut today. They actually got the wide receiver they were looking for. He could go vertical. Your quarterback just can't get them the ball. Overthrow Wentz. Look, I think Carson Wentz, he does need to be more consistent. I'll agree. Now, I will say, given the lack of reps, there will be some overthrows. There will be some missed ones. But Carson Wentz was missing some throws, throwing behind guys, and got to be better. Be on here for 10 more minutes. We got 280 up in the chat. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell. Give me your guys' thoughts. We got 108 likes in the chat. We got 270 up in the chat. Come on now. Smash that like button, man. Nate Hendricks says, I'm a huge Cowboys fan, but some of these trolls aren't right. Love your vids. I appreciate that, and I try to keep it real, so shout out to you. Defense should have acted better. Yeah. Can't be terribly mad at them, but yeah, there were some opportunities missed. Answers later, got to go. Needed this after loss, but heads up, Eagles fans. Absolutely. Have a good night or good rest of your day or whatever. Shout out to you for being up in here. And I'm behind, so I'm going to try to catch up with some of these. The comments are jumping. I'm trying to hit as many of these as I can. Philly looked bad in second half. Washington defense too good. Wentz is overrated. All you really have is tight ends. I would disagree with that. I would disagree with that. Those aren't Washington fans. We respect you. Shout out to you, man. Appreciate that. Look forward to future conversation because at the end of the day, I love this division talk. I love the rivalry talks, talking with the competition. That's why I like this platform. It allows me to do that. So I enjoy a good conversation. Will I get pissed off sometimes? You're absolutely damn right I will. But at the end of the day, got to keep it real. Honestly, as a Washington fan, this is a rare win for us. So just going to ride this out till next Sunday, honestly. Heard you, man. Skins aren't contending this year in the division. Still Philly or Dallas. I would agree with that. 27 unanswered points. Wentz let them back in. I can't believe Wentz took 8 sacks. Yeah, I mean, it just can't happen. His career high, I believe, was 6, and they tied that like in the third quarter. Man. Eagles always let Washington hang around. Just this time got overtaken. That's actually a good point. I just felt the momentum of this game, and it's like we just need one score. We need something. And there was a time, I think it was in the fourth quarter. I don't know if you guys remember this play. It was a 3rd and 8. And the Philadelphia Eagles allowed Washington to get a first down because the guy ended up 2 yards short. I don't know who it was, but he fell short and nobody touched him. And he gets up and dives for 2 more yards. And then they went and converted another 3rd and 8. Like, those kinds of things just can't happen. I do think the Eagles got a lot softer in the second half. Ryan Rowe, what's going on? What's up, Deshaun Jackson? I don't know what happened to Deshaun Jackson. I'm still trying to figure it out. I'll probably see some more after this game. I just don't understand, man. Ryan Rowe says, I hit the like button and subscribe. Shout out to you. Shout out to Philly girl up in here moderating the chat. Get this one dude, Washington diehard fan, out of here. You guys are allowed to say, you're allowed to have your own opinion, but when you start spamming, that's when you get up out of here. We don't tolerate that. Bro, how do we lose to the Washington football team? Wentz needs to learn to throw the ball away, holds the ball too long. Absolutely. In crunch time situations as well. Can't happen. When Miles Sanders and Lane Johnson come back, it's over. I agree. I think Lane will be a big piece. I mean, look who we started out on the right side. Nate Herbig and Jack Driscoll. Come on, what did we expect? And then Jordan Mailata comes in this game. It's crazy. Miles Sanders will be a big piece too. Doug won't revert to as many passes. Next week, we'll see like 30 passes or maybe even under from Carson Wentz. Got to hold him in check. Got to hold him in check. Ertz not talking to the media. Interesting. He always talks. That's very interesting. He dropped a big pass, and that can't happen. We rely upon guys like Zach Ertz to go ahead and make that catch. It just can't happen. What's up, RB? Love your videos. What do you think your record will be at the end of the season now that the Eagles have played like this? I can't really say that yet because I got to get a couple games under me to see, but I'm still rocking with my same prediction. I'm not going to change it after one game. You know what I mean? Football is all about momentum. A football season is a lot of ups and downs. It's all about momentum. I got to see if we stay healthy. You know what I mean? Because today didn't show me that we could. I didn't see a lot of positivity in that today. First game of the season, it's not time to panic. I agree with that. It is not time to panic. Like I said, we'll bounce back next week like we usually do after a sour game like this. The only thing we're not there to hit the panic button yet, but one thing we got to keep worrying about is the injuries because at this point, it should not be recurring like this. You know what I mean? Haskins didn't turn the ball over. Yeah, but at the same time, you can also admit that Haskins was not really in a groove at all in the first quarter, mostly the first half till we gave him that chance by Wentz throwing that pick. I thought we got a little bit too far outstretched. You know what I mean? We kind of went out of our comfort zone a little bit. We went out of what was working, and we tried to go too big. And then that one drive where Carson Wentz threw it like 40 yards 3 times in a row. Just shouldn't happen. Just shouldn't happen. I've seen plenty of good teams lose to bad teams. I agree. We'll be fine. We'll be all right. But still, we should be embarrassed for letting them come back and put 27 up on us. We should. We're starting the season on the wrong foot. Tyre, we keep talking about learning from our mistakes. This is ridiculous. I am so upset. I feel you. Wentz missed so many open receivers that it should have been and could have been TDs. We're always doubted. We are always surprise everybody every year. Eagles Nation. Absolutely. The last 3-4 years, but it's like every time. This is why I'm saying let the expectations be shifted off of the Eagles. Right? Let people forget about us. That is fine by me. It's perfectly fine. We play much better in the underdog role. Much better. You're coming up with excuses. I'm not coming up with any excuses. I tell it how it is. I tell it exactly how it is. Come on now. It's sad that some of you Washington fans are this way. Like, this could be great discussion, but it's fine though. We'll see where things are week 17. I bet no Washington fans will show up to the chat. Anthony Perry, what's going on, bro? Says, I'm so pissed off. I feel you, man. You should be. You absolutely have the right to be. Pretty sure Cowboys haven't even played yet. Yeah, and them and these Washington football team fans, talk to me when you get an actual trademarked name. Come on now. Come on. Where was J.J. Arcega-Whiteside? He was my guy to break out and to have a great game. And where was he? Exactly. He was on the field. No targets, though, which I didn't get. I live in Dallas, Texas, a diehard Eagles fan, and about to call out tomorrow. I just don't want to hear from those Cowgirls. I can't even imagine. I can't imagine. Stream blacking out big time. You guys let me know if it's lagging. I mean, I can't really tell, so. We need to finish those types of games, put them away. That's been for a few years now. I agree. There has been a lot of situations like that. Stream is fine. Appreciate that, Philly girl. What happened to your guys' O-line? I mean, they're decimated at this point, and we're in week 1. Dillard's out. Brooks is out. Lane's out right now. Jack Driscoll had a at least pretty nice day in his debut, and he goes out, and Mailata. I mean, it just stacks up. NFC East might be competitive this year, though. Absolutely. Absolutely. Nate Gary, I thought he played well today. I did. I thought the linebacker core stepped up. I guess Washington wanted revenge from last year's season opener. They were up 27.5, came back and won 32-27. Yep. It's crazy. History repeats itself. RB, please answer Nathan so we can be done with that. Oh, this comment right here. How would the game have been different if Eagles had drafted CeeDee Lamb? I mean, it's just idiotic stuff like that. Like, come on now. Has absolutely nothing to do with the talent of the Eagles receivers. We have enough talent on the team. Come on now. Washington played a good game and smart, no turnovers and pressure from their front four. Eagles played like crap, no excuses, 8 sacks, 3 interceptions, 2 fumbles with 1 official O-line sucked. Yeah, and it's just crazy how different this team looked from the first half to the second half. It's just sad. Like, I'm realizing that some of these Washington fans are just delusional. Delusional. Like, look at this. Washington is God. Like, no, like, excuses you lost. Terrible. Man. You guys are giving the Cowboys fans a run for their money. Defense of Washington won a game. Ton of Eagles injuries made it easy on them. Offense was able to just do enough. Ertz has to do better. I know he can. Absolutely. He wants that contract. He wants to be known for the big moments. He wants to get paid over Dallas. You got to step up, bro. You got to step up. Excuses, you have a better O-line than us. It's just our D-lines go to, come on now. Like, you guys you have no credibility of being a football fan if you actually make comments like this. Come on now. Come on. Ertz dropped the ball, and I'm looking at him sideways like, you want more money. Exactly, Anthony. Exactly. I'm like, one of the biggest plays of the game where we actually have a last chance. You can't drop that, man. You can't drop that. Bucks and Eagles aren't going to make the playoffs now over one loss. You're trolling. Exactly. These Washington fans are delusional. They'll be gone by week 8. They'll be nowhere to be found. We got a bad D. Eagles will be okay, but Washington will surprise everyone. Look, I think Washington is going to be good in 1 to 2 years. I just don't think yet. I think this is like that year before they actually go off. But that's just my opinion on it. What is your score prediction for next week? Each week I do a preview and prediction video on Thursday, so I'll definitely have that out. Well, I do a video almost every single day, so you'll definitely see that. If you guys are just tuning in, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. About to hop off here in just a few minutes, but whew, had to come on here and rant, had to get my thoughts out because, again, with the way the Eagles played in the first half, this should have been an easy win. We gave them that last chance, and they took it and ran with it, and they were hungry. They were hungrier than the Eagles, especially down at the stretch. So I'll give them credit for that. I'll be back at week 17. We'll see. Look at these weirdos. Doug Pederson needs to get stripped of play calling duty. Shaking my head. Yeah, at certain points, it does seem like that, Takeem. What's going on, bro? Look at these weirdos. Look at these weirdos. They think this bothers me. Talk to us when you get 3 rings. Alfred, I bet you've never seen your team win a championship. Have you seen your team in the Super Bowl before? Stop it. I'm a Washington fan. I think Eagles are a good team. Just Wentz and O-line was no good. Then talk when you beat the football team. Come on, Josh. You sound idiotic right now. Aren't you like I don't even know what team you're a fan of, but come on, bro. We're going at least 10-6. That's hilarious, man. It's hilarious. J.J. Arthega-Whiteside was ghost. He was absolutely just disappeared, and I don't understand why. All we've been hearing about in terms of the Philadelphia Eagles, in terms of his development, he doesn't get a target? It's crazy. You hear about any fans jumping to other teams. If you can't have an adult conversation, you'll be thrown out. Exactly. Get him up on out of here. Cut the cap. Washington's going 10 for 10 wins at least. It's crazy, bro, that y'all think this. Oh, man. Rieger didn't do that bad, though. No, he didn't. And I thought we were going to give him more short yardage opportunities. But again, we did not. And I don't understand why. If Carson Wentz connected on that one, I think it was the second one deep, well, that probably would have been a touchdown. Look at this. If Alex is on the field, you're not doing anything. This is what Washington fans say. It's funny. It's funny. These people are just weird. Takeem says Eagles should have traded for Raheem Mostert. Yeah, I mean, we still got to use our backs more efficiently. We got to give them more touches, in my opinion. I didn't like the fact that we ran the ball 9 times in the first half. It's just not going to cut it. It's not going to cut it. Nobody stepped up to lead in the second half. That's what killed me. Not even there was no enthusiasm. There was no one to just get everybody riled up. We saw none of that, and that's what kind of hurt. Your stream is cool, bro. Appreciate that. The O-line, you should have drafted O-line. Yeah, the Washington has drafted for 4 years, I think, in the first round every year, a D lineman. It pays dividends. Washington football team will be 3-10. Rieger reminded me of McLaurin last year with the big TD. That was another thing. I didn't even think. I thought we did a great job on Washington's receivers, honestly. Like I said, I can't be too mad at the Eagles secondary. Philly girl, you have to leave. Hey, get this guy out of here. Get him up on out of here, mods. He's been trolling the whole time. I don't appreciate that. You can get up on out of here. Philly girl, you could do the honors too. If you have no O-line at week 1, what makes you think you'll have one by week 8 or 12? I mean, it's a good point. We need to sign or trade for someone. We've been saying this. It looked like Hightower outsnapped JJ. Not saying JJ was a game changer, but his big body presence is more needed. Exactly. And John Hightower, again, I'm not going to be terribly pissed off at the kid, but he didn't play well by any means. He didn't play well by any means. Wentz needs to protect the ball. Too many turnovers. I agree. Our defense played as best as they could. Attrition was too many turnovers. Exactly. And putting them in tough situations without Washington having to go the length of the field. So I agree. First week, get the jitters out. 15-1 looks good. Hold up, let me be honest. I'm a Washington fan, but your Eagles play well in the first half, but your O-line is bad. Well, at least you have some optimism and some objectiveness to you. It's about the first good comment you had all day. Well, that solves Cowboys versus Eagles discussion. You have people that actually say these type of things. It's funny. Let's get to some more of these, then we'll get up on out of here. Let's see. Overall, good game. Did good the first half. We got the second half. I agree. Eagles got to keep their foot on the gas pedal. These comments are jumping. I'm trying to read them, and they're just going fast. Imagine saying, go football team. Let's see how week 2 is before anyone panics. Exactly. Not hard, just not in the mood. Talk trash, but don't spam or get personal. Exactly. I'm a Washington fan. Let me be honest. Think you'll get to 8 wins, but to make the playoffs, you need a good offensive line. I agree with that. I agree. They've been in the Super Bowl 4 times. What are you talking about? Exactly. But you weren't alive to see any of them. That's what I'm saying. I didn't watch the full game, but did Deshaun get sidelined? Yeah, he was down for like 2 quarters and nobody knows what's going on. He's sitting out there talking, joking around with his helmet in his hand, and I don't understand. Did Slay do anything? He actually did, if you actually watch the game. But you won't recognize that because you're a biased troll. It was so weird with the play calling. Exactly. Like I said, we just got too pass happy. We just needed to stay in a rhythm of what was working. Should have quit trying to throw the ball 40 yards. Exactly. I agree. Pederson screwed us, too pass happy of a coach. It's sad. He really needs to be stripped the play call and learn how to run the ball. Like I said, guys, like I've been saying, running the ball opens up the pass. Just the truth of the matter. Why are you showing only the negative fan comments? Some of us are here to talk football with our rivals. Look, I'm trying to honestly get to the actual objective comments. They're just going so fast. So I'm trying to find a good one. So I apologize about that, but I'm doing my best here. We got 250 people up in this chat. And I appreciate the real Washington people up in here, but there's just a lot of trolls. But it's fine. They can talk their smack now. It's week one. It's week one. I'm happy we got this game early in the season. That's actually a good point because, like I said, we usually do have one of those upsetting games. Now that it is in week one, at least we do have time to learn from it. So that's a good point. Do you think the NFC East will be competitive? Of course I do. Absolutely. Absolutely. Shout out to my guy, Philly Mike, Philly Talk Podcast, man. One of the best Eagles content creators. Appreciate the super chat, my guy. Says just came up a stack, only bright side, shaking my head. Man, that sounds like the only bright side in all of this. We're going to get up on out of here soon, but I appreciate my guy, Philly Mike. I'm definitely going to go watch. I'm sure you did a stream or a post game. It's just disappointing, man. It's disappointing. But we gotta hang this one on our heads, man. We gotta hang it, man. And hopefully we can rebound. At least this was early in the season, so we can learn from it. But it always seems to be a game like this, and it stinks. It definitely does. Appreciate the super chat, my guy. Ertz lost it with that pathetic drop on the fourth. That can't happen. It just can't happen. I feel JJ's lack of targets was due to Wentz looking down the field too much. Interesting point. When is Alshon coming back? Who knows? Who knows? When is anybody coming back at this point, you know? Philly always has these kind of games during the year. At least we see it in game one and not when our record depends on it. Good point. I agree. Didn't run the ball enough. Gave up too early. You think Wentz will learn to throw the ball away this season? He has to. It's you're 5 years in. You cannot keep doing that. You can't give up crucial yards. That takes us out of field goal range. It can't happen. Cowboys haven't won the division. It's week one. They still got to play tonight. Stop it. Exactly. Tuning in for our first game this season. Big love, RB. We got, again, let's trust the process. Of course, man. Appreciate you. We'll be all right. Bro's on here crying. I actually gave Washington a lot of credit, but it's just trolls like this. So I always keep it real, though, at the end of the day. Deshaun was only put on the field on third down. Doug acted like it was preseason. I didn't understand it. I really didn't. Let me get to a couple more of these, and I'll give my final overall take on a game, and we'll get out of here. But appreciate everyone that came in to talk. For the trolls, you guys can keep talking. Things will be all right, man. Let's see. Hightower looks scared. It's normal for a fourth-round pick, his first action. I didn't expect him to have a crazy game. In my honest opinion, no hate. We should have beat you last year. Our coaching was awful. Think you guys are good. It's just your line is terrible. Games are won and lost sometimes in the trenches. Washington fan, it's only week 1, no preseason, so a lot of teams were rusty. I agree. But I did think the Eagles were doing the little things well early on, to be honest. But let me go ahead and give my final take on this. Big love from Liverpool, UK. Keep up faith, big man. Doug knows how to put things right. We got world-class players and management. Let's just our Eagles in due course, early days, Philly brothers. Shout out to SJ, man. Appreciate the love. We'll be all right. We'll bounce back next week. I'm not worried about it. But something's got to get improved, and that's just the fact of the matter. Raidu says, what just happened? I can't even explain it to you. Takeem, did we even use a split backfield screenplays from out the backfield? I don't know. I don't feel like we used our guys to the best of our advantage, to be honest. I don't. I thought there was a couple nice drives where we were in our flow, and then we just kind of got away from things after they made some adjustments. Carson got sacked like 7 times, 8 times. I'm a Redskins fan, but both teams did great. Shout out to you. Respect you for being objective. Raidu says, I don't even know anymore. Matt Weeks says, I'm not ready to panic at all just yet. I'm not ready to panic. I just think that this is a game we should have won, and it sucks. But again, this is week 1. We'll be fine. We look ahead to next week, and we'll be fine. Crappy loss. I saw bright spots. Linebackers flash. I thought we have to run a ball. I agree. Our linebackers did step up big today. And I agree with you. I thought they would have some trouble, but they were playing well. Too many damn sacks. I agree. I'm not making excuses. I guess we just can't judge a game off the first game like how the Ravens lost and then went off last season. You can't judge this season off of one game, but I'm just saying it's games like this. Usually, I literally said it in my preview video. We always have that game where we seem to just disappoint and lose, even though we should win. There's always a game like that. This time it came early in the season. So we'll see what happens. But of course, if you're an Eagles fan, you deserve to be mad at this. You should be mad. Washington basically got revenge from last year. Yep. Reaper Talent says, this is ridiculous. If Carson plays like this against the Rams, they need to have a serious talk with him. Interesting. Interesting. Keep your head up. It sucks, but the sky isn't falling. I hate to lose, but it's early. It is. It is. No Gurley for the Rams next week. O-line looks terrible. Medical staff needs to be cut. Our defense actually played really good. They did. I don't mind the defense that much, but hey, given my overall take, again, I think that the Philadelphia Eagles played an amazing first half. We took our opportunities. Things looked smooth and we're free-flowing. We just looked like we were in the groove. But at the end of the day, when you give a division rival, when you give a hungry team a chance, when Carson Wentz throws that interception, well, they took it and they ran with it, and we did not make any adjustments. We did not make any adjustments that well. And shout out to Maryland Sports with the super chat. Appreciate it. Says, this is Gal Tyler. Just say we are a good team and I won't be toxic. I don't think Washington is a terrible team. I don't think they're a playoff team yet. That's just my opinion. I keep it as real as I can from my perspective. And go ahead and be toxic. You're going to get thrown out. But look, I think Washington is just a year or two away. They're going to learn. They're going to play hard for Ron Rivera. I just think they're a year or two away. That's just my opinion on it. So if you don't like it, well, I don't know what else to tell you. I'm just keeping it real. So appreciate the super chat. But anyway, the Philadelphia Eagles, they drop a tough one, 27-17 in week 1, go down 0-1, and they lose a division game, which is tough. But at the end of the day, the Philadelphia Eagles need to bounce back. They need to understand that when you lose games like this or when you have a big lead, you cannot take your foot off the gas pedal. They got to protect Carson Wentz better. The guys need to stay on this field. They need to stay healthy. But at the end of the day, if you're Carson Wentz, you got to make these throws when you have time. You got to throw the ball away when a team is bum rushing you and you have nothing else to do. You got to get out of the pocket, throw it away. And if you're Doug Pederson, you got to lead this offense. You cannot let Carson Wentz throw the ball that much and not go to our backs and just get too predictable. He's got he has a lot of power. There's no offensive coordinator. It's falling strictly on Doug. He's just simply got to be better, and he's got to readjust better when other teams make adjustments, honestly. At the end of the day, this should not have happened. We should have scored a point in the second half. But at this point, all we can do is take this and then learn from it. But we should absolutely be mad. We should let this feeling sit. Every single guy in that locker room, Doug Pederson, should let this sit and ride out for this entire week. And all we can do is really let it fuel us to play hungrier going forward. But this was an embarrassment. You should be embarrassed to give up 27 unanswered to Dwayne Haskins and the Washington football team. I'm just being honest with it. You got to be a lot better. You got to be a lot better in the second half. We'll see what happens going forward. We'll have the rest of this day to digest, and I'll put out another video tomorrow. But at the end of the day, Eagles dropped to 0-1, and now we're working uphill. So let's see. This game is embarrassing. Good luck on your season. I think the NFC East will be a lot more competitive than you all seem to think. I do think that as well. Respect for the Eagles fans. If you respect Washington fans, I've given Washington enough credit. Even though the Eagles gave them a chance and allowed them to come back in at the end of the first half and gave them momentum, the Washington D-line is very scary. And at the end of the day, they were just all over Carson Wentz, and they're gonna be special this year. I'll give it to them. But the Eagles still should have won this game. Reaper Talent 92, new subscriber. Can I get a wrench? I got you. Comment in the chat, and I got you. Vaughn215 says, I don't know what I just watched. Maryland sports, I haven't seen much respect. That's crazy. I've been giving them credit this whole time. It's ridiculous. I've literally been giving this team credit throughout this stream, but I also know that the Eagles had a part in it. Doug Pederson has to coach better. He cannot take his foot off the gas pedal. He can't switch up from what is going well. And Carson Wentz has to be better as well. Where was the screen game? Who knows? I saw a few on some weird third downs, but at the end of the day, we didn't utilize our backs to the best of our ability, honestly. Washington has a very underrated defensive line. They're good. And they'll continue to get better. But again, I'm not expecting Jordan Mailata to be able to contain those guys. I can't. Let's see. Today was a complete disgrace. Haskins couldn't put together an 80-yard drive if his life depended on it. You can't continuously give the ball away in your own territory and expect to beat anybody. I agree. And again, at the end of the day, the defense could have stepped up in some situations, but I can't absolutely be mad at the defense. I thought they played well given the kind of situations they were put into. So I can't really be that angry about it. I got you on my big screen TV right now. Shout out to Big Play Slay, baby. And Big Play Slay had a pretty good debut. You're muting my messages for voicing my opinion. Look, I don't mute anybody. My mods do that. At the end of the day, I always say, you Washington fans, if you're in here talking objectively, we're having a discussion, you'll never get muted. But for the trolls that are up in here spamming and getting personal, yeah, you're up on out of here. So I don't know. I don't mute the messages, though. It's good. Washington, Philly get a rematch. It should be fun to watch. Yeah, a lot of things will be different. Week 17. Who's more to blame, Doug or Carson? I think you got to blame both of them in this situation. I think you got to blame both of them there. But there's some good that we can take away from this game looking at the first half. But again, we got to be more consistent. All right, let's read a couple more of these and then we'll get out of here. Let's see. Takes on Davion, Sean, and Kayvon. I hope we get to see him eventually. I hope we get to see him. I think Davion Taylor had a penalty on special teams. But we'll end up seeing these guys, especially given our depth and given guys going down. We got to stay healthy. We got to stay healthy. Coaching matters. It's because you kept on going for it. Yeah, some of those, like I said, the 4th and 4, I didn't agree with that at all. I did not agree with that. Reaper, they can talk trash. They can't get personal. Eagles could have won if they could contain Washington's D-line. But it just wasn't going to happen. They're just too overmatched. And we had guys going down. So I got you on my iPad. Shout out to you. Were you impressed with Jason Peters? I was actually impressed with the fact that Jason Peters, there was a couple plays where he kind of got beat, but overall, I mean, Jason Peters did what he could. He didn't really have a lot of hope around him, but I was surprised that Jason Peters actually stayed on the field. You know what I mean? If he went down, it would have been even worse. It would have been even worse. How do you think Washington's new coach did? I knew they would play hard for Ron Rivera, given everything that he's going through. And again, you just can't give them that opportunity to stay in it. If they went into the half down 17-0, they would have been completely crushed. But we went ahead and gave them the ball on short territory. So just being honest, can't happen. Can't happen. You can't get too passive. You can't get too greedy right there. Got to remember Tuesday starts a new NFL week. Agreed. Rick Bennett, shout out to my channel members. Matt Weeks is 4th and 4. We should have punted. Absolutely. Absolutely. I do not know why we went for that. We had no momentum at that point in the game. Burgang 114. I don't understand how Doug didn't add extra blockers to help the O-line. Wentz took away too many hits. Exactly. Exactly. We didn't readjust well. I got to admit, y'all will win against the Cowboys and the Giants. Y'all thought I was bad. Welcome, Reaper. Why is it that whatever sport we're always talking about, we always have to talk about injuries? It's crazy. And it just keeps happening. It just keeps happening. I cannot go through another season of injuries. We will see what happens. But, hey, appreciate you guys for stopping by. We still got like 200 in this chat. If you guys could, on the way out, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Tons of daily, consistent content. Every single week, we'll be discussing the Philadelphia Eagles. This is a bad one. Got to shake it off and get ready for next week's game. But this is sour. It'll hurt for the rest of the day. We'll have more thoughts on this tomorrow. Eagles got to be better in the future. They got to be better. They got to get rebounded and get ready for next week, because now, given the sake of the team, the injury situation, we got to see who's going to be on the field, and we have to be ready to rock, because now next week might not even be next week might even be harder. So we got to get ready. We got to get our mindset right, and we have to stay consistent. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. To the trolls, you still can't get at me. And with that being said, I go by RB, Philly Tig with RB. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And with that being said, I'll catch y'all on the next one, man. Peace.